The Senate Banking Committee advancing its first large bipartisan housing package in a decade. The Renewing Opportunity in the American Dream to Housing Act of 2025, also known as the Road to Housing Act, aims to expand and preserve America's housing supply, improve affordability, enhance accountability, and strengthen oversight. Joining me now is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. He chairs the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee. Mr. Chairman, good morning to you, and congratulations. The fact that this vote was 24-0, and this was sponsored by you and Senator Warren, is a pretty big accomplishment, sir.
Well, thank you, Cheryl. Elizabeth and I don't agree on almost anything, but here's where a place where all Americans agree. Black ones, white ones, red ones, brown ones, and Republicans, Democrats, and Independents all agree housing prices are too high, the supply too low, and regulations too much. So we went to work a couple of years ago to get this done. The American people want to achieve the American dream. The American dream for so many people, Cheryl, is owning their own home. It took my mama until she was 38 years old to have a house. I want to make sure that number continues to go down for Americans today.
Are you worried at all about the proposed cuts to HUD? Obviously the administration wants to see that department shrink. This is kind of goes back to DOGE. Does that concern you at all?
It doesn't. I've met with Scott Turner, the Secretary of HUD, on a number of occasions. We had dinner just a few weeks ago to talk through the housing proposals that we were embedding in this legislation. He has the same vision of President Trump. President Trump wants more homeowners in America. He wants more people achieving the American dream. You can still be very responsible financially at HUD and achieve that dream. Most of the problems that we see in housing, they are local issues. I spent more than half of my career, Cheryl, on the local level. So I know firsthand that those jurisdictions, they control the zoning, they control the building codes. If we give them more carrots and more sticks, if you do what we want, you get more money. If you don't, you lose money. This is a simple concept. We don't control housing, but we certainly control the flow of our money.
No, and the fact that it's working on the existing supply is what I really like about this bill. So, yes. Mr. Chairman, last week you joined President Trump and White House officials on that tour of the Federal Reserve's renovation project.
Oh, yes.
You also, yes, a lot of news was made there. You also led oversight efforts on the agency's spending on the projects. Tell us about what you saw on that tour and also your impressions of that back and forth between the president and Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
Well, Cheryl, the word I would use is opulent. The problem that we see at the Federal Reserve is that instead of talking about interest rates coming down, the president and I are touring a building that is over 25% over budget, hundreds of millions of dollars. At the same time, the average person sitting at their kitchen table, they're trying to figure out how to make their ends meet. But at the Fed, what they're building is something that includes a beautiful beehive garden. Now, Cheryl, I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, the taxpayers can't afford it. Private elevators, beautiful dining rooms. I want basic renovations to make sure they're able to do their job. Their job, full employment, controlling inflation, not building opulent buildings.
Well, what do you make of the continuing back and forth between President Trump and Fed Chair Jerome Powell? When Jerome Powell was with you and the president last week, he didn't seem to give an inch. Do you still think that he should resign? Do you think that he's making the wrong decision when it comes to rates?
He doubles down on the renovation issues, which are bad. Number one, they're way over budget. Number two, instead of focusing more attention on the fact that even with the tariff conversation that he and I have had, he's had with the president, what we've seen so far is inflation's about 2.7%. Our employment almost at full employment, 4.1%. What else do we need to have this economy on fire? We need lower interest rates. Lower interest rates, in my opinion, will drive up wages, and the average person in this country will be much better off. Powell has said that he's still waiting for more information to come in on the tariffs. What we've seen is historic. President Trump was right on tariffs. More legislators, more leaders are coming to the conclusion Trump was right.
Yeah, there you go, sir. Well, that was, again, quite the tour, and it was. I did see you there as part of that tour, Mr. Chairman. That was something else. You and your colleagues have released this initial discussion draft of digital asset market structure legislation. So this builds on the success of the Clarity Act. The House, of course, passing the Clarity Act, but now it's in your hands, you and your colleagues and some of your other senators. So how long do you think it's going to take before the Clarity Act can get to the president's desk, as the Genius Act already has, simply because it's been said that there is no Genius Act without the Clarity Act and vice versa?
Well, they certainly work together as a partnership. But here's what we have to remember. President Trump made a promise on the campaign trail to make America the crypto capital of the world. What does that mean? It means having clarity in the market structure so as to allow the innovators to innovate here at home in America. What we had for 4 years under President Biden was exactly the opposite. We had a chilling effect on innovation. We need more innovation in the financial space. Having clarity in the market structure gives certainty for the innovators and the entrepreneurs to invest their resources in America. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and we need to be the world leader. The Clarity Act, as our foundation, will allow our market structure to hit my committee in September. My prayer is it hits the floor of the Senate in October, signed into law this year.
Okay, so we're looking at the fall for the Clarity Act. We were kind of wondering where that was going.
Yes.
Senator Tim Scott, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We know there's a lot happening today, again, on the Senate floor. It has not been boring to watch. So we're looking forward to more today.
More to come.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Great to see you, Senator Scott.